And also brought to you in part by HD Roofing and Construction, Highland Dairy, La Quinta Inn and Suites Conway, Moix RV, and Fairfield Inn and Suites.
It looks like they're going to hand it off. The Bears do off the right side. And there he goes. Tail of midfield, 40, 35-30, slips a tackle, 25-20, 10, 5, pylon, and yes, touchdown, Central Arkansas, Darius Hale.
Now let's head to walk-ons and join Nathan Brown and Justin Acree.
They're going to hand it off to James. James on the move, at the 5, at the 4, into the end zone. The Bears are taking the lead. Looks like a ticker tape parade down the sideline. 19 seconds left. Kylan James off the right side and into the end zone. And this crazy comeback is complete. Rolling right. Has time. Receivers downfield. Going to go for it all here. This will be the final play of the game. It's intercepted. And the Bears have pulled it off. The Bears have won the game. Picked off in the end zone by who else? T-Bird, Tamarian Wilson, 38, 33. Oh, my goodness. All right, welcome into Walk-Ons tonight and a comeback for the ages for the Bears as we welcome you into the Nathan Brown Show tonight from Walk-Ons in Conway. 38-33 entering the fourth quarter. Bears are down 30-6, and somehow, some way, they claw their way back. And I guess that's what Bears do, Coach. They use those claws. You guys used every bit of them on Saturday in one of the more unlikely comebacks any of us have ever seen. Congratulations.
Yeah, obviously still hard to believe, but man, just the grit, the passion, the fight that our team showed throughout the whole game. But you know, obviously the fourth quarter gets the headline for obvious reasons. It's just what you look for. I mean, that's the type of that's why you coach for moments like that. Like we were talking before, I don't know that it's good for our heart rate and all that, but man, it's just there were so many emotions involved with a game like that, and just so proud of our team, our boys for finding a way, because not many people find a way in that situation.
I will say that there were a few people that headed to the exits. Those who stayed in attendance were treated to quite a ball game. The folks who were there at the end, Coach, it was loud, and it was obviously incredible energy in there. It was such a special night. And after the second touchdown, I think, maybe the third one, people could kind of sense something was going on. And by the time you guys got the ball back on the last possession, I don't think there was a doubt in anybody's mind, including all the Red Hawks, that you guys were going to go down and score again.
Well, people have asked me several times over the last couple of days, when did I believe that we, had a chance? And, there's not a moment where you sit there and say that was it, or I believed it was going to happen after that catch or that touchdown. But rewatching the film and just watching the emotion of our sideline, watching the reaction of our players that were on the field, I do think it was probably the Christian Richmond touchdown that I think that put us down by 8 with 4 minutes left. And that was a 19-second drive, I believe. We ran 2 plays on that drive. Second play, Will hits him up the seam. Gerard Barnes makes a big block to spring him, and that's where you said, what, this could happen. And a lot of stuff still had to fall in place, like what had happened to that point in the fourth quarter. But it really did. The stars aligned, and the good guys won on Saturday.
Yeah, when they got the field goal with 4:20 left, I was like, well, it was good effort here, but they, I think they put it a little too far out at 46-yarder, which made it 33-18. So you're still down by 15 points at that point. You obviously went for 3 2-point conversions, none of which were converted. So again, in hindsight, probably would have just kicked the extra points, but it is remarkable. The 73-yarder to Richmond, that was the thing. The other part of this is you don't get turnovers.
That's what doesn't make any sense about the fourth quarter is, you fully expect if you make a comeback like that, you're thinking a block punt, scoop score, pick six, something, kickoff return touchdown, something other than just 5 straight drives on offense, right? And what was amazing was that didn't happen. We were solid on defense. We stopped them. We had held them to quick drives. Obviously gave up a field goal there in between, but held them to quick drives, got the ball back in our hands, and we were very efficient. If you look at our time of possession on those last 5 drives, I mean, you could say, I don't know if it shows it right there, but I mean, how quick they were.
127, 323 was the long one. That was the Gerard Barnes touchdown series. 2 plays, 73 yards, 19 seconds. The Butler touchdown that got you guys within a couple of points there, 41 seconds. And then the final drive was only 59 seconds.
Yeah.
you left them time to spare, maybe a little too much, but it worked out okay. And T-Bird obviously made that last defensive play. And I know we talked about that last week, having the defense close it out. Second week in a row in a close one.
Well, and that's in totally different fashions. You look at 2 weeks ago, the Southern Utah game, and, we were having to hold on to that lead. We were having to hold on to the rope. We were having to figure out how to finish that game. You were just wanting that clock to hit zero because all the cards were stacked against us. The momentum was in Southern Utah's favor. And we stopped the 2-point conversion, then held them 4 and out on defense to win the game and get victory formation on offense, whereas opposed to this week, we were fighting, scratch, and clawing to get our way out of the hole. And so we've won 2 games in the last 2 weeks, close games, albeit, that have been in totally opposite manners.
Right.
Coming from behind and then holding a big lead. So just proud of our guys. And I can't help but think winning 2 games in that fashion, opposite directions, is going to help us moving forward.
Oh, there's no doubt. It's obviously an opportunity for some significant growth. And Will McElvain, coach, we have seen him take that next step forward. And he just came out as a gunslinger in the fourth quarter. By the way, named the United Athletic Conference Player of the Week on offense this week. Incredible job. And in the same breath, I want to mention the offensive line and the backs and the tight ends who blocked for him. They were jailhouse coming after you guys. Jailhouse break blitzes, and you guys picked up every one of them just about every single time. He got sacked 1 time total in the entire game.
Well, and I think that goes unnoticed in the fourth quarter. Obviously, their scheme and what their decision was in the fourth quarter was not to lay back and play coverage. I mean, they were wanting to put pressure on Will. They were wanting to make our backs pick up blitzes, and what was amazing about that was they gave Will time. He scrambled around a little bit, but for the most part, he had a clean pocket, able to stand in there, drive the football to our receivers, and and they know we're trying to throw the ball, so they're pinning their ears back, and so that's what makes it even more impressive. Justin Larry, Will Diggins, Zach Kokenauer, Josh George. I mean, I go down the list. William Mayo. I mean, an unbelievable job by those young men. And how they handled that circumstance, that goes unnoticed, obviously, right? I mean, the names in the paper, the guy scoring the touchdowns, Will winning Player of the Week, all that doesn't happen with those big boys up front.
Well, and that's the thing. You're also working shorthanded up front without BK Collier to start the day. So
yeah, BK was out. Our starting right tackle, he had a death in the family, and so we had to shift Justin over to right side. Justin Larry, who's our starting left tackle, he's skilled enough to be able to play both. Believe it or not, it's a skill. People may not realize that, to switch sides. When we moved redshirt freshman for his first career start, Zach Kokenauer, big, strong, young redshirt freshman, have a great career here, and man, he held up, and it was great to see.
Will ends up 31 of 44. The completions, I think the attempts too, for sure the yardage, all career highs, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. And as we mentioned, a lot of people playing a part in that. We're going to talk to one of his favorite targets this season, Myles Butler, who we had heard a lot about in the preseason camp. And obviously it's shown up on the field here once the season has gotten underway. He and Gerard Barnes, along with Christian Richmond and a lot of other guys, have been really great targets for Will McElvain this year. And then on the defensive side, the old head, over 200 career tackles. We're going to talk to Cam Godfrey tonight as well. So we will get to all that as we continue on. We'll continue to recap a game that, again, ended on a 32-3 run by the Bears. Just the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen. It all resulted in a 5-point win, and the Bears now ranked in both polls, 25th in the coaches, 20th in the stats poll, and now 4-2 and still undefeated in conference play. Conference opponent this week, but it won't count as a conference game. Weird scenario. We'll talk about that. We'll continue on after this. It's the Nathan Brown Show from Walk-Ons in Conway. Stay with us.
It's game time at Fairfield Inn and Suites in Conway, located just 3 miles from the University of Central Arkansas campus, and they are ready to play ball. Start your day with their award-winning free hot breakfast, and then after a day of fun and excitement, end your day relaxing by their indoor pool and jacuzzi. All this with a UCA rate of $89 plus tax. You can make your reservation online, Marriott.com/LITCW, or call the hotel direct, 501-505-8034.
HD Roofing and Construction, proud to be Central Arkansas owned and operated, offering free inspections, insurance claims assistance, a huge product selection and the highest standards in Arkansas. Whether it's minor repairs or a full roof replacement for your commercial or residential property, they'll provide you with quality materials, craftsmanship, warranties, and cost-effective solutions. Call today, 501-428-0429, or get a quote at hdarkansas.com. HD Roofing, proud to be the official roofing partner of UCA Athletics.
Setting a new workout goal? Post-workout recovery is a lot sweeter when you fuel up with rich, delicious Highland Dairy chocolate milk. Packed with the nutrients you need to re-energize, including protein, calcium, and potassium, chocolate milk is a tasty treat at the end of your hard workout. Find a money-saving coupon at highlanddairy.com/chocolate. Highland, locally made, naturally delicious.
What would you call a city that made $100 million a year off of gambling and prostitution? The FBI called it illegal. But here in Hot Springs, Arkansas, we just called it tourism. Enjoy the story of the great American spy told by the people who lived through it at the award-winning Gangster Museum of America, 510 Central Avenue in Hot Springs. 501-318-1717 or go to tgmoa.com.
With over 350 land specialists in 40 states, Whitetail Properties Real Estate is the premier rural real estate company in North America. And Mike Poore, your local Whitetail Properties land specialist, combines local expertise with the Whitetail Properties national reach to reach more buyers who are looking for hunting land, farmland, and rural homes. So if you're thinking about selling, you need to give Mike Poore a call today at 501-428-7177 or visit whitetailproperties.com.
If you have a question or comment for the head bear, send Justin a message on Twitter at JustinAcree7. Now, back to the Nathan Brown Show, presented by Walk-On's Sports Bistreaux in Conway, 955 South Amity Road, on the Buzz Radio Network.
Back to throw. Has time. Looks, throws late into the end zone. Wide open Butler. Touchdown Central Arkansas. A 10-yard strike on third down from McElvain to Butler. The first touchdown of the day for the Bears. McElvain throwing down the sideline. Butler man-to-man. He got it at the 5 of the end zone. Touchdown Central Arkansas. 45 yards. The Butler did it. All right, welcome back to the Nathan Brown Show here in Conway at Walk-On's Sports Bistreaux, and the Butler is with us tonight. Myles Butler joining us, and Myles, congratulations. It was a crazy one the other day, and I keep asking everybody, so have you ever been in anything close to that before in your life?
Nothing close to that. Nothing at all close to that one.
Do you remember the biggest comeback you were part of in your life before that one?
I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah, nowhere close, though.
No, wasn't that close.
So what did you believe? Let me ask you that. Going to the fourth quarter, it's 30-6. What are you thinking?
I was thinking I said, like I told the O-line, I said, we got to start brick by brick. Someone got to start it just brick by brick. So I definitely believed it. And I wanted the team to believe it too, because I definitely believed it because Coach Justin kept telling us, and I was believing what he was saying. So I said, we got to start brick by brick. And that's what we did, brick by brick.
At what point did you think, okay, we got this. We're going to make this happen?
Oh, definitely after Seaver scored.
Okay.
When Seaver scored, I knew it. I said, yeah, we're going to win this. I knew that.
Let's talk about the last drive. And we've got the Kylan James touchdown. We'll play a little bit later on. I was told today by multiple sources that there was a check by Will McElvain, coach, that led to get you guys into field goal range.
Yeah, so we had a route concept called, and Will actually didn't even let the receivers know. They actually ran the route. I mean, they were running the route concept. Will saw the box count. We're in the stands. We're Coach Combs in the box. I'm on the sideline, and we see Will verbalizing something. We just thought it was protection. Changing the protection, moving a guy here or there, which we knew we had to play with urgency, right? I mean, the clock's ticking, and Will checked an inside zone play to KP, and they walked up perfect. I don't know how many. He got 20, 25 yards, but it got us into field goal range. Those guys didn't even know we checked it. I mean, it was unreal, and that's just what we're talking about, the savviness, the veteran presence of Will, just knowledge of the offense, and then playing the game, the feel of the game. I mean, he knew we talked before the series started. He knew we had a timeout left, so we knew we could run the ball. He got the box count. His training told him to do this, and he executed it.
Yeah, no doubt. 7 for 117, a couple of touchdowns, Myles, the other day. You knew this was going to be a tough game. I assumed SEMO would come in and be desperate. Did you guys have any fatigue, do you think, from the week before? I mean, it's several days in between there, but that's a long, hard trip.
I said a little bit, but not that much, though. It did take a toll when I got back Sunday.
How much was the altitude a factor for you last week?
Oh, it was bad. After I caught the second string, I thought I was going to die. I was gassed. I was gassed after that second string, but it definitely made a big difference, though.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you didn't die. We needed you back this week for sure. There was a lot of talk about you were one of the few, guys, and I only heard about a few guys that were taking big steps forward. What you do in the offseason to get ready for this year? What were your expectations coming in?
This offseason, I was just in the indoor as much as I could be. I was in there in the morning, in the afternoon. I was just trying to train there every day. I knew I had to be consistent in there so I could be consistent on Saturday. So that's what I was doing in the indoor every day consistently.
How's the receiver room? Tell me about the group. I mean, we got some guys we've been watching make plays for a few years now, but and you've obviously been part of the mix. You had a good year last year, a few touchdowns, like 22 catches, maybe something like that.
Yes,
what's the group like?
That group there is special. We have some major talent in that room. Even before you seen, we still have some guys in the back that's really good. And that group, I love that group to death because we stick together. And I feel like that group really knew that we had that game. We could come back and win that game. That's why I feel like we wouldn't perform the way we did because we actually believe. I love that group for sure.
How about Cam Robinson?
I was just about to ask about him. One of the young guys coming up. He's had 2 good weeks in a row now.
Yeah, Cam didn't get to play last year because he had a little injury going on. But this year he was in the indoor with me this summer, training with me, and I'm glad to see Cam back. He gave us a spark for real, with that. The deep ball he caught, he really gave us a spark, and I appreciate Cam though for sure.
I'm gonna get that look from Coach here to but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Did you notice what was happening between the third and fourth quarters on the other sideline?
No, sir.
You didn't.
No, sir.
Good.
All right,
I did.
I did too. The Red Hawks got together and they were dancing around. Apparently, they brought their own speaker system too, and they were dancing around like they just won the national title, and it was real irritating. But I'm like, well, it's 30-6. Can't really say anything right now.
Cam saw it.
Okay, we'll ask him about that in a second. All right, I was just curious, so it's all right. But anyway, other than that, I mean, what were your goals? Did you expect kind of what's happening from you this year? I mean, were you expecting to take a big step?
Yes, I was definitely expecting to take a big step. It didn't go as planned, but that's part of it. Everything is not going to go perfect. You're going to have adversity. So it's going as good so far because I'm definitely better than what I was last year. Man, we were just talking about it, like the numbers that I have right now, even though I'm not a numbers guy, he was like, the numbers you have right now, you already capitalized from last year. I was like, that's a blessing that I did take a step, even though it's not going perfect like I wanted to, but it's still a step forward.
Yeah, you almost doubled your touchdown count, so just keep that up. That'd be great. How about going against these dudes every day in practice? That's got to make you better, right?
Oh, that made me better every day. Going against Andrew Hayes, coming from a D2 school, really good corner. You could tell he has lots of experience. You have T.D. Williams, James, physical corner, and those guys really made me better. It was iron sharpen iron all fall camps. Like every fall camp, every practice, it was you got to come with it because you know the other guys on the other side was coming with it too. So we competed, and I appreciate those guys because that's who made me better for sure.
Yeah, I'm talking to Myles Butler on the Nathan Brown Show. If you're just tuning in, and we actually named Andrew our Player of the Week on defense this week. I thought he did a phenomenal job against Flournoy, and there were plenty of flags that came out. And again, that was one of the few negatives of the week. Second week in a row, but again, they weren't letting you get away with a whole bunch at the corner spot this week.
Well, and I think that's one of the differences. And we can talk to Cam as a DB, but I think in the second half, the officials let us play. I mean, there was a little bit more lenient calls in the second half. They were really ticky-tack in the first half, and if you look at the penalty count, we had high penalties, but they also did too. So I mean, it was a flag happy group, and that's fine. We got to adjust and we got to be better, but man, I was proud of those guys. And I'll tell you this, one thing I want to say about Myles, I got on the headset at one point, and I think him and I made eye contact somewhere in that fourth quarter. And I said to Coach Collins, I said, get the ball to 14. He's got that look in his eyes. And Collins actually reminded me, Jessica and I went to Coach Collins' office. We decompressed after the game. And Coach Collins said, it's funny because you haven't said that to me maybe since LaJuan or Tyler. And there's just something in a game, and you see it, and you know it, and you feel it. And Coach Collins is like, I can't see or feel that in the box.
Right.
I'm calling the game. It's more so just overall picture. But when you get the emotion of the game, you can see the way they react and respond. And I saw that in this dude on Saturday, and he had 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. We don't win that game without him having that ability on Saturday night.
Did you feel like the receivers get in the zone? Is that a thing?
We locked in. Coach said we had Coach Justin kept saying Maddie got this X factor. He was like everybody X factor had cut on there, and that's what he meant.
Yeah,
so we all stuck together. Our X factor cut on. It was time to make plays.
Second touchdown was contested. What do you remember about that play?
Well, I knew he had backed off because I knew they wasn't going to come and press because, everybody was expecting us to throw the ball. So he backed off, so I was pressing his leverage, and Will just gave me a chance. I got to make a play. Because what's crazy is on Thursday, I had just got off the phone with T. Huddy, and I was like, bro, I got to make those big plays. Like, I haven't been making those big plays, I feel like. So I got to make those big plays. And in that moment on Saturday, that was my time to make a big play, and I responded. Thanks to God.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, that's incredible. So how hard do you think it will be to turn the page to this week with SFA coming in. I mean, it's hard to not ride that wave for a while, I would think.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, but it's really not that hard because, we got to keep going. We got to be consistent. We got to do the same thing, not let it get that far until we start the plan, but start off early, like learn from, because ain't no game's perfect. I didn't start off perfect, so there's no game that's perfect, so we got something that we can learn from and build on. So that's what we need to go in and fix. Let that be a win in the past, and that's time to move to SFA this week.
How far is it home for you? How far is Montgomery from here for you?
7 hours.
You get family at games? Friends get to come up some?
What's crazy is Saturday was my first time having all my cousins at my games and stuff. That's not all of them, but it was most of them. They got to see me play, and I'm glad I gave them a show to see.
Yeah, well, maybe they had a good look term.
He had texted me early, I guess Thursday maybe, and he was like, Coach, anyway, I can get more tickets. And then he goes and plays a game like that. We need to get him here more often.
Well, I was saying we need to maybe get a bus together and get him over here. That might be a good luck charm. So, well, congrats. That was amazing, and good luck this week.
Thank you, sir.
All right, appreciate it. We were talking before, Cam and I. We're going to get him on here in a second. That was Myles Butler. Good stuff. This league is not going to be easy.
No.
I mean, there are no off weeks this year. I mean, I still see some people that are expecting Austin Peay to be in the playoffs, whether as an at-large or as a conference champion. People are writing off Eastern Kentucky. We know that's crazy to do, not a smart move.
No.
Tarleton lost a heartbreaker this last weekend. So did SFA, but we know they're going to be factors in the season as it wears on here. So, I mean, it is I think a much better league than we anticipated even. But, yeah, it was all comebacks, right? Utah Tech beats SFA in a comeback, 37-31. I think they scored 20 in the fourth. And then Southern Utah comes back and beats Tarleton on the road, 27-26. What a win for them. And, I mean, they still had to be licking their wounds for the near miss the week before. That was impressive.
Well, I think those two Utah schools are gonna spoil some people's party. I mean, that's two schools that are, a lot of us don't know a whole lot about. We're kind of learning on the fly. So, it's a deep league. I mean, look, North Alabama. I mean, they beat Chattanooga's a top 25 team. They've beaten Chattanooga in non-conference play. Yep. I mean, it's a game. It's a week and a week by week game by game type deal. You got to buckle up. I mean, this is a deep league. There's not a day that goes by that we can't that we can take off for sure.
All right, we're going to talk to Cam Godfrey on the other side. Longtime safety here at Central Arkansas, and the active leader with 7 interceptions with over 200 tackles to his credit as well. We'll take a break. We're back here at Walk-Ons in Conway after this. Nathan Brown, Justin Akery, and again, Cam Godfrey. Safety will join us on the other side. Stay with us.
La Quinta Inn and Suites in Conway at 2350 Sanders Road in Conway are proud to support our UCA Bears. La Quinta Inn and Suites, here to serve you with 67 rooms, free bright side breakfast, free high-speed internet access, free wireless high-speed internet access, pillow top beds, indoor swimming pool and fitness center. Call 501-328-5100. That's 328-5100. Or find them online at laquintaconway.com. Go Bears! HD Roofing and Construction, proud to be Central Arkansas owned and operated, offering free inspections, insurance claims assistance, a huge product selection and the highest standards in Arkansas. Whether it's minor repairs or a full roof replacement for your commercial or residential property, they'll provide you with quality materials, craftsmanship, warranties, and cost-effective solutions. Call today, 501-428-0429, or get a quote at hdarkansas.com. HD Roofing, proud to be the official roofing partner of UCA Athletics. Walk-Ons starts every dish from scratch and only uses fresh ingredients to bring their mouth-watering Cajun cuisine to life. Whether you're there for dinner with the family, date night, cocktails with the girls, or to watch the UCA Bears on the big screen, Walk-Ons is always happy to share their Louisiana culture with you. Walk-Ons, game day with a taste of Louisiana.
The second annual Free Press Freedom Gala is coming to Chenal Country Club on October 12th with a reception at 6, followed by dinner and a program at 7. The gala will celebrate free press and individuals who brought positive headlines to Arkansas. This year's event honors Buzz Morning Mayhem co-host and country superstar Justin Moore, as well as Arkansas Democrat Gazette senior editor Rex Nelson. Our very own David Basil will be your MC for the evening. Tickets to the gala are available at arkansaspress.org/gala.
For 100 years, Arkansas State Parks have offered endless outdoor adventures and treasured places to connect with nature, family, and friends. Whatever kind of outdoor fun you're into, you can find it at 52 parks around the state. Enjoy world-class mountain biking trails, scenic hikes, year-round fishing on sparkling lakes, and much more. It's time to get outside and celebrate a century. Find your next adventure today at ArkansasStateParks.com. Brought to you by this station and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
You're listening to the Nathan Brown Show, presented by Walk-On's Sports Bistreaux in Conway, where everything is made from scratch, bringing Cajun cuisine to life. Now, back to Coach Brown and Justin on the Buzz Radio Network.
Has a man wide open at the 45 across midfield. Still on his feet, 45-40, off to the races, and goodbye to the end zone, Christian Richmond. Oh, my goodness.
Well, that was 73 yards in a hurry as we welcome you back into Walk-Ons here in Conway. And you said that's when you felt like, maybe we're on to something here, Coach.
Yeah, that was a big play. I mean, they like we talked about, they brought the blitz there. We did a good job picking it up. They left the seam ball wide open. Christian made a good catch, and really Christian made a good run, but Gerard Barnes makes an unbelievable block on that play to spring him. And Gerard had already scored a big touchdown earlier, and then he's probably it would be hard for me to find a better blocking wide receiver in the country. Gerard he's got a knack for it, and he's willing to do it.
Yeah.
And as good as he is with the ball in his hands, he is a very unselfish player when it comes to blocking, and he obviously sprung Christian right there.
We're going to talk defense here in just a second with Cam Godfrey. I want to mention a couple offensive numbers, though. The balance so far has been really good. 200 rushes for 1342, 15 touchdowns. 204 passes, 1541, and 15 touchdowns. Yeah. So you have been almost exactly balanced in play call and exactly balanced in the number of touchdowns scored on the ground and through the air.
Yeah, and balance is not necessarily 50-50. Obviously, it works out that way here, It looks like. But really balance is being multiple offense that does what it takes to win a football game. I mean, the last 2 weeks, Will McElvain has had to throw the ball, career highs in attempts and all that. So, but the prior weeks to that, we were running the ball pretty heavily. So we're doing what it takes to win. Our defense is getting stops, and offense has been able to put the ball in the end zone for the most part throughout the year.
I got an interesting Kylan James stat, too, I'll share in a second. But let's get to Cam now and talk about the defense. And 24th in total defense nationally and getting after the quarterback, doing a lot of good things. And congratulations, Cam. It was one for the ages.
It definitely was. Thank you.
So at what point did you think, okay, we might just pull this thing off?
Well, I was a part of that 2019 team of just always coming back. So I just already have that mentality we could always still come back. And I was just trying to keep everybody focused on defense. Just we're not done. Even though there was still a couple of looks, that it's still over, but we're going to keep trying type thing.
We were tearing our hair out a little bit in the first half. You guys were doing so many good things, and you kept getting them behind the sticks, and they kept converting. There were some third and longs repeatedly that were converted, whether they made a play or you guys got a penalty called on you. Did you get frustrated at all in the first half? I mean, you guys were keeping them in it, but at the same time, they were pulling off a lot of long shots, I think, on third down.
Yeah, those penalties were hurting us, especially since we tried to stress that throughout the week that we have to do better on third down. But just try to keep everybody composed.
So what are you thinking going into the fourth quarter?
Going into the fourth quarter, looking 36, I knew it didn't look good. It didn't look good at all, especially since I looked over and seen they're turning up on our own turf. But I just said the defense, we're going to have to go back. They're going to score, and we're going to have to go back and get a stop. Then we got one stop. Then they got to score again. I was like, we're going to have to get another stop. Then I was like, we need one more stop. So it just kept going, just trying to keep the defense composed. We just have to do our job.
Yeah. So what were you thinking when they're doing that on your field? They got music cranked up. They're over there dancing like they won the game already.
I didn't like that. I'm not going to lie to you. It wasn't my best feeling, especially since it was on our own turf. I mean, I wouldn't like if we were on somebody else, but to be here at home in Conway on our stripes, I didn't like it.
T-Bird told us last week that he had this game circled. He told me before the season, this is one of about 3 or 4 that he was definitely looking forward to. You guys lost a tough one up there last year. It was a weird game. A lot of strange things happened in that one. Had a fumble recovery, a kickoff recovery for a touchdown. Did you look forward to this one? Was this a big game for you?
Yeah, me and T-Bird, we both didn't. We did last year's game didn't sit right with SEMO. We felt like we could have done a lot better, especially on the special teams side. We didn't have a very good special teams, but they were talking a lot during that game, and so we definitely had this game circled this year.
This one a little chippy. I mean, it was just more talking than usual.
It was about the same as last year. They're always chippy. They're always saying something after the play or doing something after the play, and they got away with it a couple times.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Chirp, chirp, little bird, and fly back home. I bet that was a horrible bus ride back to Cape Girardeau. That'd be pretty miserable after dancing around in the third quarter and then blowing another lead, which has been kind of their calling card this year. But that's a talented group you guys knocked off. What are you most proud of from the defense so far this year?
Our corners are playing really well this year. I have so much confidence in them. Just if we being in man coverage or any coverage, but man coverage, I have so much confidence guarding anybody in the country.
So what are you thinking about the season? I mean, did you feel great coming in? I talked to a lot of guys who've had the highest of hopes. I mean, we're talking undefeated season. We're talking, national championship, certainly a conference title. Do you feel like this team has sort of the makeup to do something like that?
I definitely think so. On the offensive side, they're throwing it and running it well. And on the defensive side, we have so many weapons everywhere. Just Goldie at linebacker and DC playing hard the way he does. And then Logan and D-Walk going off the edge and our corners locking up. And then you have the tackle man, T-Bird back there. I just feel like we're very special.
I like that. Tell me about your receivers. We got a nice compliment paid to you guys from Myles. Tell me about trying to chase those guys around. And obviously we've seen the great speed your guys have.
Yeah, it's been tough, especially in the slot. Cam and C. Rich gave us problems all fall camp. Even Dylan and Trey Green, when they guarded Cam, they're like, Cam is really tough to guard. So we gotta give him the ball during the season. And he just these past 2 games, that's what happened. He's just showing out. We were like, we've been to this. We always knew that was Cam.
And what about from Shenderick? He's obviously put people on notice, and we knew coming in. We saw him last year. I mean, what are your memories of chasing him around last year and then seeing him in camp?
Seeing him camp, it was just like, yeah, I see why you like the way you are, just the way he jump cuts and he does different things. And then he hurdled somebody Saturday and he hurdled James Jordan last year when we played him. So it was just like a whole flashback. But like, this is nothing new. This is just power. This is what he does.
So how about SFA this week? What can you tell me?
They're a good team, but obviously we stop the run and contain the pass. I think we'll be really well. Let our pass rushers I think we can take advantage on the D-line. Our D-line can take advantage of them. So I think we cover them up and let our D-line eat. We'll be okay.
So T-Bird gets the pick in the end zone. Last play of the game on Saturday. Where were you? What'd you see? What was your expectation? I mean, just give me that last play, kind of your perspective.
Last play, we always stress that at the end of every Thursday practice. Last play is bat the ball down. So I was guarding one of their second or third best receivers. Running with him, and I see T-Bird go up for the ball, and I'm thinking he's about to bat the ball down, but then there was 2 SEMO receivers who got right in front of him, so I'm really glad he caught the ball instead of batting it down because it could have been a real sad day for
that's a nervous deal, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen it time and time again where a ball, you bat it, gets hooked around, and
sure.
And I get the bat and the ball down, but that's a big play.
Well, the other thing is, too, you're not even sure on that play, like whether they're going to throw short and then try to Hail Mary, but they decide to stretch the play and then fire it in the end zone. Do you have a different defensive line? Like, do you bring in a big receiver or anything different with a Hail Mary play?
We have in the past. We aren't right now. We feel comfortable with these guys. They work it. That's something we stress every single week. And fortunately enough, I was able to have a timeout.
Yeah. And
I called a timeout once I saw they were in what looked like a Hail Mary formation to me. Because it was the same formation we put ours in. I think it's universal. So I used that timeout at the last second. And, we just did our last minute adjustments. And those guys went out and executed the play, which was, huge play, obviously winning the game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, Cam, congrats and good luck this week. Appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Always,
of course.
You bet. That's Cam Godfrey. Great stuff, per usual. Great on the field, great on the mic. So, all right, I got some offensive numbers I want to throw at you, Coach. We're going to hear a couple more highlights as we continue on. We got our 2-minute drill coming up. We got the Beef Report brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council about SFA, and they've got some interesting weapons you guys will have to contend with on both sides of the ball, and they are getting after quarterbacks also about as well as your team is this year, so we'll talk about that. We're at Walk On Sports Bistreaux in Conway. It's the Nathan Brown Show on Buzz 2 106.7. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
La Quinta Inn and Suites in Conway at 2350 Sanders Road in Conway are proud to support our UCA Bears. La Quinta Inn and Suites, here to serve you with 67 rooms, free bright side breakfast, free high-speed internet access, free wireless high-speed internet access, pillow top beds, indoor swimming pool and fitness center. Call 501-328-5100. That's 328-5100. Or find them online at laquintaconway.com. Go Bears!
Moist ETC in Conway introduces Spartan Mowers, the strongest lineup in the mowing industry. With the SRT, RT, RZ, and KG series, they have the perfect mower to fit any yard, any size, anytime. From compact to commercial, 42 to 72-inch deck sizes, with power all the way up to 38.5 horses, you just won't find a better mower anywhere. Spartan mowers are assembled in the USA, forged with 7-gauge steel to bring you the strongest lineup in America. Check out the new Spartan mowers at Moist ETC. Get yours today.
Setting a new workout goal? Post-workout recovery is a lot sweeter when you fuel up with rich, delicious Highland Dairy chocolate milk. Packed with the nutrients you need to re-energize, including protein, calcium, and potassium, chocolate milk is a tasty treat at the end of your hard workout. Find a money-saving coupon at highlanddairy.com/chocolate. Highland, locally made, naturally delicious.
At Jones & Son Diamond and Fine Jewelry, when you shop for an engagement ring, you get the benefit of shopping with the largest selection of rings in Central Arkansas. They also carry the biggest brands in the business and now offer their Jones & Son collection of branded engagement rings. The Jones & Son rings are high quality at a really great price. They are also fully customizable. They can modify any design to fit your needs and make you happy. Jones & Son Bridal and Fine Jewelry is a direct diamond importer, so they save you money. Birthdays, anniversary, engagement, and bridal. No matter what the occasion may be, you'll find something special at Jones & Son. They're located at 11121 Rodney Parham Road, and they've been there for 35 years, or you can find them online at jonesandson.com. The same address, phone number, and great service for more than 3 decades. Jones & Son has the latest styles from the top designers in the world, and they've got something for every budget, and they'll help you pick out something very special for you or your loved one. Jones & Son, Diamond and Bridal Fine Jewelry in West Little Rock.
Go Purple, go Gray, go UCA. You're listening to the Nathan Brown Show on the Buzz Radio Network, coming to you live from Walk-On Sports Bistreaux in Conway. A great place to take the family or catch the game. Now, back to Coach Brown and Justin.
The Heat, McElvain to the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. Gerard Barnes, I don't know how he did it. He got spun all the way around. He caught it down around his hip, held on, crashed to the turf, and it is caught for a score for the Bears.
Well, he may be a great blocker, but Gerard Barnes also a pretty darn good receiver, leading the Bears now 27 receptions on the season. He is second leading receiver as far as yardage goes with 335 behind Myles, who has 345 now and 5 touchdowns over there for Myles Butler. And Gerard with a couple to his credit also. Who's older, Gerard or you? No, Gerard, Cam has been here seems like forever. Gerard's been here forever.
Gerard's the oldest one on the team, I believe. Am I right on that? Yeah, I know he's the only 7th-year guy.
He's going right from college to AARP. It's crazy. So
it's funny because a lot of times we do seniority when we eat on the road and stuff. So I'll say, 5th-year guys, 4th-year guys. So I always just started out with Gerard.
That's funny.
Gerard
I like that.
He leads us.
That's good. I wanted to mention Kylan James. We played his touchdown, which put you guys up to stay the other night, and he is having a great year. And I noticed this last week, and he actually even tightened it up more this week. I don't know if you've noticed this weird anomaly statistically for him. He has 23 rushes and 23 catches.
Wow.
23 rushes for 235, 23 receptions for 234, 3 touchdowns on the ground, 3 touchdowns in the air. Hadn't thrown one yet this year, but it's early.
It's coming.
Yeah. So I just thought, man, this far in the season, and you're almost exactly the same. And, of course, 2 weeks ago, you didn't run him at all. And
9 catches.
Yeah, 9 catches. But this week, you got a little bit of both out of him.
I've said it, and I haven't been shy about saying it. I think he's the most versatile player in the country on offense. And, I what he can do in space, splitting him out, moving him to almost a B-back position. obviously handing him the ball in the backfield. I mean, he's the guy on those last 2 drives that was in, at the running back position. He's such a good football player. I mean, you could probably train him to be a quarterback. I mean, he's just that good a player. Obviously, coming from a program at Dumas where he did it all here in the state. He's been so good, and he's the wild card. If we're getting him the ball and we're ginning with him getting in and out of breaks and doing different things and personnel, usually our offense is clicking, and so we definitely build a lot around him.
Your offense is clicking for sure. 481 yards a game. That's 4th in the FCS. You guys are 8th in scoring at 38.8 a game. Are you pretty happy where you guys are right now?
I am. I think we've left a lot out there, though. I mean, I think our offense would tell you. I mean, we've settled for some red zone field goals, especially the last 2 weeks that frustrate you. We left a lot of hidden yardage out there at Oklahoma State. We felt like we didn't play our best game at North Dakota State. I mean, there's a lot of things that I feel like we could get better at and improve on, and I think our players would tell you, man, we're a detail here, a detail there away from being even better every week. So we've got a lot to grow on. I mean, we're obviously, because of the talent we have, it's taken over at times. But we can continue to get better with details and the little things.
I want to talk about Jake Gaster again, too, on special teams, coach. 7 out of 10 for field goals this year. Doing a great job. And I figured if it came down to it, I'm like, well, I saw him in JUCO on video kick a 51-yarder to win a game once, and I thought, well, just get him in range, but obviously it was nice to score a touchdown instead.
Yeah, in the back of my head, I'm thinking all we need is a field goal. And so some coaches will sit there and run the clock all the way down, take a knee, and, take the field goal to win the game. And probably if you're in the NFL, you do that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just you believe in your protection. You believe in your snap, the hold. But in my case, I'm sitting there thinking, man, we've got a chance. And I had a timeout in my back pocket. So I'm thinking I wasn't necessarily going to put the ball in the air on those last couple plays because I had that timeout and I believe in our kicking game. But fortunately enough, we just put it in the end zone. It didn't matter. But Jake's been on a run, and he's 7 of 10. And really, I think in all honesty, he's 7 of 8 because 2 of those are blocks.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, it's not on him.
Well, the misses off the upright.
Yeah, and the misses, and it was a chip shot that he makes 100% of the time. I mean, if he, other than that obviously tough elements being in the rain and wind and all that up in southern Utah. But man, been very pleased with him. He's going to be a weapon as we continue the season.
I want to ask you one other thing strategically. At the end of the game, you guys have one more kickoff after you score the last touchdown. Knowing they've got to score a touchdown to beat you, was there any debate about kicking deep versus the pooch?
Yeah, so there was, and even people maybe questioning why didn't you onside? And I knew I had 3 timeouts. They're probably their most dangerous special team unit was kickoff return. 14 was the one that ran the touchdown back against us last year, and you saw us trying to avoid kicking it to him all night. I mean, we moved the ball around a lot. Jake Ward did a great job. Pooch did a great job cross kicking it, doing some different things. So I wasn't going to put it in his hands. I knew that. And so it really became a question of, well, we have it pooched to the middle of the field, and we thought we might surprise them with that. Well, they're tied in. Their up back did a great job. He ended up getting 12, I think, yards on the return. Most of the time you see guys fair catch that. So I was a little bit surprised he returned it. But we got him on the ground, and it was a good call. I mean, I didn't want to give – and not that I don't trust our kickoff unit. I trust them full force, but – shame on me if I make that decision and we do give up a touchdown to 14. I mean, he's an all conference type return guy, and I didn't want to put it in his hands.
That makes sense. All right. Well, let's talk about SFA, and we'll go through the beef report here in just a second. But last year you win 34-7 in Nacogdoches, and nobody expected that. That was a team that was very, very good. And speaking of Kylan James, as we were a little bit ago, he just went crazy on them. 10 carries, 155 yards. 4 catches for 88 yards. He had 2 touchdowns in receptions, and then defense got after it. 10 tackles for loss and 8 sacks. David Walker alone had 3.5 sacks in that game last year, and that's something that maybe you guys could take advantage of again this year. They're giving some things up in that regard.
Well, that was probably the most dominant defensive performance I've ever been a part of as a coach. I mean, they had obviously Xavier Gibson, who's doing great things with the New York Jets right now. They had a 5th-year senior quarterback who is their all-time leading passer, or one of their all-time leading passers in SFA history. We put together a great plan. As a matter of fact, Cameron Godfrey, who's here tonight, his statistics weren't huge that game, but probably played his best game of his career, in my opinion, because he was on Xavier Gibson duty. And I think we held Xavier to maybe 1 catch. I don't even remember. It wasn't many. But yeah, I mean, they're a high-powered offense. And look, they've reloaded. They've got a transfer quarterback from Tennessee who's obviously putting up big numbers this year.
Yeah.
Big kid, strong kid, can really get the ball down the field. Has a good running ability. Not afraid to stick his nose in there. And they've obviously always got talented receivers. Their run game is solid. I think their running back is second leading rusher in the conference behind Shunderick. They're a good football team. They're going to be tough to beat. And look, the scariest thing sometimes is playing a wounded football team, and that's what we're going to get on Saturday. We're playing a team that is 3-3, 0-2 in the conference. They're backed in a corner, and they're going to come out swinging. I know Coach Carthel. I know the way he coaches. He's very sound in his schemes. It's going to be a difficult matchup.
Well, you just got the best shot from SEMO, I think. They had to play desperate, too, coming in with their record, and probably going to get the same this week. Real quick, I wanted to mention Pro Football Focus ranking players through week 5, so it doesn't include last weekend. They had Shunderick Powell third on their list as far as performances so far this year. I guess it's however they figured, whatever their metric is. And then another one that popped off was surprising. James Jordan they had as their second cornerback in the country.
James is efficient. He's obviously our third corner, gets in a lot of nickel situations. He obviously goes in. He plays as many snaps as TD and Andrew just off of just keeping guys fresh. Man, he's scrappy. He's not the biggest guy in the world. Pulaski Robinson, alum, does a great job. He right here at home. He's a good player, and he gets the most out of his body. I can promise you that.
Saturday's game, 4:00 again for the Bears, back on the stripes, and then an off week coming up after that, and then one more home game in October before the Bears get back after it in a couple of weeks. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back, and we'll go through our beef report brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council. We've got our 2-minute drill with Coach. Stay tuned. We will wrap things up here at Walk-On's Sports Bistreaux in Conway on a Monday night. Watching a little football on TV. Got Phillies and Braves battling it out on another to best of 5. Big game for the Braves, trying to come back. So plenty to do here. Try to join us for one of these, or come out to Walk-Ons anytime. We'll be back after this.
It's game time at Fairfield Inn & Suites in Conway, located just 3 miles from the University of Central Arkansas campus, and they are ready to play ball. Start your day with their award-winning free hot breakfast, and then after a day of fun and excitement, end your day relaxing by their indoor pool and jacuzzi. All this for the UCA rate of $89 plus tax. You can make your reservation online, Marriott.com/LITCW, or call the hotel direct, 501-505-8034.
Moix ETC in Conway introduces Spartan Mowers, the strongest lineup in the mowing industry. With the SRT, RT, RZ, and KG series, they have the perfect mower to fit any yard, any size, anytime. From compact to commercial, 42 to 72-inch deck sizes, with power all the way up to 38.5 horses, you just won't find a better mower anywhere. Spartan mowers are assembled in the USA, forged with 7-gauge steel to bring you the strongest lineup in America. Check out the new Spartan mowers at Moix ETC. Get yours today.
Walk-Ons, Sports Bistreaux, the place to be every Wednesday night for college night from 5 p.m. till close. Guests with a valid college ID will enjoy half-off drinks and $5 classic burgers at Walk-Ons, Sports Bistreaux, 955 Amity Road in Conway. Everyone needs a little playing time. Walk-Ons, Sports Bistreaux, game day with a taste of Louisiana.
1 minute left.
RJ Hawk here with Chris Roberts from Southern Bank. And Chris, I know interest rates are high right now. That's what everybody's talking about. But if you're thinking about a project, whether it be a commercial project or you want to build a house, now's the time to come talk to you about what those future plans may look like.
RJ, no matter what the business environment may be, we're always there to sit down with our customers and talk about their future plans and what's going on with their businesses.
And that's one thing about Southern Bank is they're a community bank. They want to be your partner.
30 Partnering with our customers is a key to how we do business.
And Chris, we talk about those interest rates being high, but the one good news out of that is deposit rates.
We have some great CD and checking account rates. Just give us a call and see what one of our personal bankers can do for you.
If you want more information about interest rates or those deposit rates that we just talked about, call Chris and his team today at 501-424-0900 or go online at bankwithsouthern.com. Southern Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We're talking Bear football tonight on the Nathan Brown Show, presented by Walk-On Sports Bistreaux in Conway and broadcasting live from their location at 955 South Amity Road.
it off to James. James on the move. At the 5. At the 1. Into the end zone. The Bears are taking the lead. Let's take a ticker tape parade down the sideline. 19 seconds left. Kylan James off the right side and into the end zone. And this crazy comeback is complete.
Wasn't actual ticker tape, but it looked like it.
I didn't know what kind of parade.
Ticker tape parade.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I saw money fly, or I saw paper flying in the air. I didn't know what was going on. Apparently, somebody had raided the money bag, which apparently is what?
The turnover award, basically, that our players came up with. So it's a money bag. You get a turnover on defense, and you get to capitalize on the money bag.
You better call the treasury. You have to restock that bag.
I mean, I see Luke after the game, and he's got the money bag around his hip. I'm like, go give that back to Coach Stacks.
Well,
that's his money bag.
It was definitely a good game to throw some money up in there for sure. You mentioned Colby Carthel, SFA, Lumberjacks coming in here, and really a long history with these two schools going back quite a ways. And the Bears have dominated this series, which is great news. Happy to hear that. 11-4 all time, and I think maybe 9-2 the last 11. So obviously every game is different, every year is different. But as we go through the Beef Report, brought to you by the Arkansas Beef Council, Coach, it's a team that's got some talent. Their quarterback, Brian Maurer, 55%, 12 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, which is encouraging. An opportunity maybe to take a couple away. Hope Camus listened to that. Maybe he can get another one. Add it to his total. Just put him over there with all the rest of them. He's got 7 in his career. But here's what kind of concerned me. They got 7 interceptions by 7 different players, 49 tackles for loss, and 12 sacks. So they're getting after people.
Yeah, they're attacking style defense. They've got a new coordinator this year on defensive side of the ball. He came from Tulane. Obviously, we know how good Tulane is right now. He went from, SFA, they kind of a 4-man front over the years, and he's kind of went to more of an odd man front. We'll still see some 4-down stuff. But I'll tell you, they're an attacking style defense. They've got some really physical linebackers. They're long, very long. If you look at their depth chart and you watch them on film, they got length, which is always something that makes you nervous. But look, we it's no different. I mean, look, our schedule's tough. It's going to be like this every week. Playing talented teams that have good transfers, as well as SFA does a great job recruiting the state of Texas and getting top talent out of that state. So Coach Carthel's a defensive guy. He's always going to have a good defense. I know that.
Well, they've got a few all-conference guys in the preseason here, and one of them is their kicker, Chris Campos, who's
really good player.
Yeah, 10 of 13 this year, long of 49. He's made all his PATs and had a really good year last year, 18 of 24. So. Obviously hoping it doesn't come down to a field goal. You cannot get enough of those games like you had last year where you dominated. You don't have to stress out, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're due one, right? I mean, you go from, basically 2 years of when you win, dominating wins, to two of the biggest nail batters I've had in my coaching career. So obviously you take wins however they come, but man, we need to play well. I think just starting fast. We didn't start very fast. We started fast 2 weeks ago at Southern Utah, but we didn't start fast as past Saturday. And the players may give the politically correct answer, but I do think there was a little bit of the Utah hangover. I think we were tired. I think we were worn out. We're at the point in the season where we haven't had a bye week.
Yep.
Guys are beat up. They're broke down. I mean, we just got to keep fighting. And let's get through this game, find a way, whatever it takes, to get to scratch out a win, and then we can take a breath next week.
BACK this week?
Yeah.
Yeah. You get him?
Doubt. Yep, he's back.
That'll be nice.
Yep, he's back.
All right, let's go through our 2-minute drill here, Coach, and see how. Oops, that's not going to work. Let's try that again. Let's put on an hour and 2 minutes. That's a long drill. That's way too long. I don't have that many questions. All right, favorite lake in Arkansas?
Probably Goose Ferry. That's the one we're on the most.
You guys do a little bit there?
Yeah, I like Lake Washita too. Both beautiful lakes.
What's your favorite place to stay out of town in the state?
In the state, probably the Goose Ferry. Yeah, I mean I enjoy Eureka Springs.
Yeah,
we've done that a few times.
No doubt.
Jessica and I mean, that's a good place too.
Yeah, it's a good getaway. It's kind of like the game the other day. Like you're kind of like, wow, this is a real.
You don't
place.
even feel like you're in Arkansas when you're in Eureka Springs.
I love it.
It's weird.
No, it is. It's a strange thing. I didn't feel like I was in Arkansas the other night. I feel like I was in the Twilight Zone. It was great.
It was a movie.
I mean, I got to ask you this too, real quick. What did their coach say to you at midfield after the game?
It was pretty quick.
I mean, that is just crazy.
I've had 2 quick handshakes the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's good. Well, keep that up. We had a question on the show today about the most streamed thing. So Max, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu. What's your go-to streamer?
We're Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, we're Netflix. We haven't branched out too far from that, but I've heard Hulu's good.
Yeah,
I probably need to get in that game, but we're Netflix.
What are you watching right now? Anything particular you guys are binging?
Well, Suits.
Yep.
I know you're watching that.
I am.
Suits is very good.
I'm gonna go home and watch an episode tonight.
Yeah, Suits. I know it's an older show, but
yeah,
that's one that
I wasn't watching it when it was on. So.
There's a lot of seasons, so
yeah.
I think we're 4 or 5 seasons in.
Yeah, we're about the same.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Great show.
What sport do you watch the most outside of football? Got the baseball playoffs tonight.
The baseball playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't watch baseball throughout the regular season, but love the playoffs. And unfortunately, my team's getting beat right now. I'm a huge Braves fan. Grew up the Chipper Jones days.
Well, send Atlanta the tape from Saturday night, Coach. They're never give up attitude, I hope, because
there's life. They got a good enough batting order. They ought to scratch out a couple runs.
Yeah, they're down 1 and already down 1-0 in the series. They definitely need to find a way to win here. Last question. Since we're here at Walk-Ons, gumbo, etouffee, red beans and rice, or shrimp and grits? What are you going with?
I love them all. But if I had to pick one, I would probably say gumbo.
Okay.
Etouffee's a little rich. I like it.
Yes.
Love shrimp and grits. Just don't think about it much.
Yep.
But gumbo, I'm a huge fan of gumbo.
They've got me hooked on here. This is the second week in a row.
It's great. I'm telling you.
And
I wrong.
Gumbo for an appetizer. So you 2 out of 4 ain't bad. I mean, that's what I'm talking about.
That's awesome.
All right. So between now and Saturday, obviously it's a 4:00 kick again. I mean, you guys try to settle. I know you try to make as much routine as you can, but goodness, they're making it easy for you. Same kick times, back at home. I mean, you guys can kind of follow the same script, right?
Well, as college athletes, you become a creature of habit. I mean, routine is good, right? I mean, go to class, go to, treatment, go to workouts, go to practice, do it again the next day. And so if you can get in a consistent routine, usually you can have success. I feel like our guys in a pretty good routine. You don't want it to be too monotonous because you get in a dangerous spot if you have too much monotony in your life. But man, we're in a good spot. We're glad to be home. It's supposed to be beautiful weather again, similar to last weekend. Hopefully for a big crowd. It's Hall of Fame weekend. Here on campus, got I think 7 or 8 former Bears in different sports going into the Hall of Fame. It's going to be a fun weekend of football. Great brand of football playing right now in Conway, Arkansas. Come out and check it out.
Oh, weather's going to be perfect again. We had such great weather last weekend. I know you were asked about it after the game. For those who stayed in the crowd and stayed in the stands after the third quarter, how'd you feel like the atmosphere was?
It was unreal. I mean, and it kind of gravitated down closer to the field so you could feel the presence. I tell you people this all the time. I mean, at our level of football, I think when the Stripes is on point at Estes Stadium, you got people engaged, you got a game like that. I mean, it's tough to beat. We had guys in the end zone. We have fraternities, sororities down there jumping up and down on those touchdowns. I mean, such a great night, and our guys feed off that. They need that.
71 in sunshine on Saturday. Let's go on the Stripes. Tune in to the show next week. We'll recap it. Tune into the broadcast starting at 3. But, hey, turn out at Estes Stadium on Saturday and support the Bears. They deserve it. And trying to get to 5-2 before the bye week.
Let's go.
Big one against Stephen F. Austin, a very, very good football team. So should be a lot of fun. We'll be back here next week. Actually, we're going to take 1 week off because of the bye week. That's right. So we'll be here in 2 weeks. But you're welcome to come here and eat some shrimp and grits.
I may come anyways if we win.
I got no issue with that.
I'm a superstitious guy.
Why break precedent? Yeah, exactly. I'll do that with you. I'll make it a point to come up here for sure. Appreciate Todd Pierce back in the studio. We'll join you next week on the Stripes, or this Saturday on the Stripes, and we'll join you in 2 weeks here at Walk-Ons for the Nathan Brown Show. Appreciate you tuning in, and have a good night, everybody.
The Nathan Brown Show has been presented live from Walk-On Sports Bistreaux in Conway and brought to you in part by Moix RV, Fairfield Inn & Suites, HD Roofing and Construction, Highland Dairy, and La Quinta Inn & Suites Conway.